So heavyweight contender Dominic Brezeale has gone on record and says that IBF heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua has no power and his punching power is not real. And at least that's what he said in an interview with IFL TV. Now, Dominic Brezeale, he's a former football player, I think a Trojan. Um, he's undefeated, and so is Anthony Joshua. They're both going to fight for the IBF heavyweight title, I think the 26th, June 26th. And he was asked, several questions about the upcoming bout, this and that. And basically what his thoughts are on Anthony Joshua as a fighter, champion, all this and that. And some things that were touched on, and he was asked, well, what do you think about his punching power? And he says it is not real because AJ has knocked out every single opponent, 100% KO ratio. So they asked him about it, what do you think of this? How are you going to deal with that? He says that punching power is not real. Anthony Joshua has never fought anyone who has never not been knocked out. So basically saying that everyone that Joshua has fought in has been knocked out before. Only problem with that is, last I knew, Dylan White had never been knocked out and he was undefeated. So we go on and he gets asked, or he says a few more things, like when asked about the Charles Martin fight when Anthony grabbed that IBF title, Dominic Brezaele says that it was terrible. He was disgusted in that fight, and he was disgusted in Charles Martin. He says that Anthony Joshua got more of a workout in the locker room before the fight than he actually did in the ring. And he goes on to say, all that muscle that he has, it's meaningless. It means nothing. Now that's about the only thing I can kind of agree with him. While muscle, I'm sure looks nice, the bitches love it. It really doesn't translate into punching power in boxing. And yeah, when you look at the power punchers right now, yeah, you can find some guys that are swole, big ass dudes, and they hit hard as fuck. But for the most part, power punchers, they're not necessarily the craziest ripped guy or the biggest guy. And I can just give you an example. Marcus Maidana, one known as a big power puncher. And, look at him, kind of looks normal, Lucas Matisse, another Argentine power puncher, kind of looks the same. And, there's several other guys. At heavyweight, one of the biggest power punchers right now is Deontay Wilder. He's skinny as fuck. He's just tall. So it doesn't really mean anything. And, I don't know, maybe unless you got some big arms, then maybe they can help protect your shoulder if someone's jabbing at your shoulder or something. But even then, it takes more oxygen to power that. So, anyways, that's about the only shit I can agree with. Both guys are undefeated. Now, Anthony Joshua is a favorite. They're both also Olympians, but AJ was the only one to capture a medal. And Dominic Brezaele says that this is another thing that kind of boggles my mind when he says that he does everything better than Anthony Joshua. And I don't understand that. He says he punches better, he has better combinations and better skill. He says he does everything better. And this is the guy that, while he may be undefeated, he fought Amir Mansour and he was losing clearly to Amir Mansour. Now, this is troubling if you're a Dominic Brezaele fan because Amir Mansour, we all know, while he is, kind of a contender, he's legit, but he's not elite. He's a smaller heavyweight, and he's old. He's getting up there in age. No shit, I think he's probably about like 40 years old, 41 years old. So, and he's a way smaller guy. And in that fight, the smaller guy was actually being able to push back the taller, bigger Dominic Brezaele. And, we all know how that fight ended. Unfortunately, Amir Mansour ended up getting a fractured, broken jaw, a little Victor Ortiz action going on in there. But, stopped. Looking at that fight before that, the smaller guy was losing. So, these are all things that, are interesting because it seems like he's not really giving Anthony Joshua's credit. And while both guys are kind of untested, they're both undefeated. And I can say at least in my opinion, that Anthony Joshua has fought in the better competition, even though it's nothing really to brag about. They're both in the building stages, and fortunately for AJ, he had the opportunity to grab that IBF title from Charles Martin. But I don't know. I think the favorite, and rightfully so, which it is AJ. He should win, but let me know what you guys think when this happens. Third Coast Boxing. I'm out.